All right, welcome everybody to the first ever Hustle and Motivate podcast. I'm so happy to have you guys here. This is the beginning of an amazing series that we're doing to promote the Hustle for Change business seminar that you're going to learn a lot about tonight. But I'm not going to hold you guys up any longer. We're about to bring on our guest for tonight, and hopefully we have some more guests come in. But we're bringing on Mark Gibbons and Jessica Renee. I'm super excited to have these two amazing business owners on this podcast, on this episode. One, because their businesses are amazing, but then two, the experience that they have with being business owners and navigating through it. And the whole goal of this podcast is to be able to give encouragement, give motivation to business owners out there, because running a business ain't easy. A lot of people think, oh, you got your own business, you good to go. And it's like, no, really working the 9 to 5 is way more easier than actually running and starting a business. And it takes a lot for us entrepreneurs to be motivated to stick with our business. So let's just start with you, Mark. Can you just introduce yourself to everyone? Let us know who you are, and then we'll go with you, Jessica.
Certainly. Mark Gibbons, founder and uh, co-owner of Rise Business Solutions. We're a business development and entrepreneur developmental consulting firm. We've worked with over 1,500 business over the past 12 years. For operations, we focus on developing Black businesses unapologetically in the area of analytics, capital, and execution.
That is awesome. And tell us a little bit about your business, Jessica.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jessica Renee. I am the founder and CEO of GPD Creative Agency. We are an award winning digital marketing agency that supports organizations to increase their online visibility and credibility through multiple ways, but primarily through web, video, and digital marketing. And we've been in business since 2015 for 7 years now.
Awesome, awesome. I love the longevity.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with this conversational piece. What inspired you or motivated you to be a business owner? And anyone can answer. However you want.
well, my motivation was that I just hated clocking in. you know, uh, and being told, what I needed to do, when to do it. And one of the things that happened just years ago, I was, college educated, and then I working for this huge, majority owned firm, and they was hiring a cat with a high school education to be my supervisor and wanted me to train him. And I was like, that was it. I just like, look, I'm out. That's not gonna fit for me. And I left. And right there, and I realized that I needed to have my own. You know.
Yes.
That's
Mhm.
Yes.
awesome. So I'm gonna make a quick little cut for you, Ad Jessica, and I just want to let you guys know, introduce our fourth speaker for the night. And so I'm so sorry, Carlton will not be here with us tonight, but he is going to be on the next episode. He had something to come up, but we have Miss Nikita Anderson joining us in this conversation tonight. So far we just introduced ourselves and talked a little bit about who we are, our businesses, and we're just going into what motivated you to be your own business owner. So when we get to you, because you're going to go after Jessica, you can introduce yourself and then what motivated you to become a business owner as well.
Yeah. So my motivation is very much similar to Mr. Gibbons. I was pursuing the quote unquote American dream and was working for a business, and I got tired of coming to work, and I was the only, Black woman there representing, and, watching all the other folks around me get promoted, and knowing that I'm doing more work than my peers were doing and not receiving the promotion. And so I got tired of waiting for someone to give me the promotion. And so I promoted myself and became the CEO of my business, and I haven't looked back since.
I love it. I love it.
Mhm.
Okay, Nikita.
Hello. So I'm Nikita Anderson, and I am like in the very, very beginning, I guess, of making my business official, which is consulting. But my experience has been a little different. I am in a position where I love my job, and I really like what we do as far as like the mission and the passion. We're helping the community, and we're doing good. I'm not putting people at risk just to make money. But I need more. I have 5 children. And so like really being able to do all the things that I've dreamt about in the past, and make them into reality is where I am. And being an entrepreneur and running my own businesses and being able to share my skill sets is a reason why, one, I'm happy to be a part of Hustle for Change and learn more. But I think it's important, to talk about how sometimes it doesn't have to be something bad that motivates you to be an entrepreneur. You could be in a good position, you could be happy with your employment, but there's more. And so um, I'm motivated by wanting more and being able to provide more for my family and create that legacy of wealth that I was not able to inherit myself.
That is super awesome. I love all those responses, and just talking about bringing that legacy of wealth for generations to come is part of the reason why the Hustle for Change Business Seminar is happening here in Cincinnati, Ohio on October 9th. We will be featuring Wallow and Gilly as keynote speakers. If you don't know who Wallow and Gilly is, then you ain't up on game, because they're the podcast hosts for $1 million worth of game. But in addition to them, we have a amazing lineup of speakers and panelists that will be coming to give expert advice, um, knowledge, resources, and just everything a business owner, either seasoned or just beginning, could gain. On top of all the amazing network that's going to be happening. So that's part of the reason why we're all here, because the goal is to create generational wealth that we can be able to pass down. So a lot of people, I know, and Mark, you have told me this before, and so I may have it wrong, so correct me if I haven't messed up, but I know one of the first things when we first met, you talked about how black owned businesses, we are only going to represent like 1% of dollars spent by 2050 or 2030. Can you tell us a little bit about
Yeah.
that?
Well,
Because that's important.
it's even
That was a
gotten
game changer.
deeper. Yeah, it's even gotten deeper than that. Recently, in the past 2 years, there's been two disparity studies. Let's just take Cincinnati, Metro Cincinnati, and in Cincinnati, a lot of people are not even aware that 42% of the population is black, right? And then Cincinnati has more Fortune 500s located in Cincinnati than any other city in America besides Silicon Valley. Well, in that process, so you're looking at where the GDP of Cincinnati totally is like somewhere between 141 to 142 billion dollars annually. Well, of that 142 billion dollars, 1.4 billion is represented in that GDP by black-owned businesses. And so, with that, the top six businesses in this area actually account for 900 million of that 1.4 billion. So now you're somewhere around 500 million left of 42% of the population. And so this is why, our community is running around committing all type of crimes. And we're doing everything from men and women both are selling their bodies, selling drugs, their children, medicating themselves to try to just forget about everything, stealing, robbing, and then hate each other. You know, when it gets as simple as an outfit or a pair of shoes, and I'm gonna shoot you over it, that's ridiculous. And so
Man.
and so it's important, that way that my firm looks at it is that, well, how do we change that? We have to become entrepreneurs. And so how do we do that? I'm always asked, Mark, who are your clients? And I respond, all of those people that are forgotten, that,
Mm.
that people don't pay any attention to. And so, because you can hear about the certain names that get the notoriety and publicity that's come up some. You hear about those same people when you network. A lot of times you go to every networking event, it's just about the same. You can just take a photo picture and have the same people at that event. And so with it is that we have to do better. And the number one way that we believe in doing it is that we take a regional approach. We can do business with one another, go into projects with one another. There's enough room. That's why look at. I mean, all you got to do is look at how many different auto dealerships there are,
Man,
and
auto
and that don't come cheap.
Mhm.
But it's thousands of them worldwide. They're made all over the world, but they sell them, don't they? And so we have to look at how we go about business with each other. That's the number one thing. And then understanding that there's more to it when we talk about analytics. We want to look at who's who's um who's following us on social media, how many likes we have, this and that, right? But one of the things about analytics that's real important. It's called segmentation. When you're using segmentation strategies, you got geographic, you have demographics, you have behavioral. How do people behave? And then your psychology behind why people do business with you, whether you sell in retail or you sell in a service. It's a reason for that. I mean, think about how they get us all juiced up for the holidays.
Mhm.
right.
Huh? We're out there spending all the change, but the businesses are open. They're not at home, where they might be. The people that actually own and run the empires, they might be on some island somewhere having a good time, you know. But we have to do better. We have to really support one another. And I mean, have you ever thought about Facebook? And I know y'all have, but think about it. Let's
Yeah.
say if we looked at how many followers we have each, right? If you add, just look at Facebook, and if we add that up, how many do you have, Nikita?
I was actually looking at that today. It's only 444 on
That's
Facebook.
okay. That's 444. What about you, Miss Renee?
I think on Facebook I have maybe a little over 1,000, maybe
Okay,
1,200 folks on Facebook.
and Aziza.
Um, all of
Aziza,
my pages combined, probably about 30,000.
Okay, and then you're looking at I have about 4,000, right? So when we're
Mm-hmm.
looking at that, we'll probably combine with somewhere close to, let's say, 45, 50,000, right? So let's
Mhm.
just say if you took the product or services that you offer to the community, and whatever that lowest rate is, let's just say if it's $25, let's just use that, or $50, and let's just say all of us promote that one product for each other, right? And then we say, let's say not all the 50,000 may not purchase, but what if you look at, and let's say 5 or 10% of that? How many people is that would make that purchase?
Mm.
Hmm? All right,
Right.
let's just say 5%, 10%, and then if you got those type of sales with everyone's help, do you have to go out and beg somebody for a loan?
Mm-mm.
Not at all.
Your
Good.
community just put you on, didn't they?
That's right.
Okay, so that to me is the proper way to use social media.
Yes.
You follow what I'm saying? And
Right.
so that does that make sense?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely does.
Uh-huh.
It
And so
definitely does.
so I'll be quiet because I could talk. I could talk forever, right?
Hey, but that was a good point because people like I really feel like when I heard just those numbers when it comes to black business, that was like a game changer. One for me, like how can I change this within myself? Like how can I be a better business owner? And so that's why I felt that was super important just to even mention that, to talk about that. So talking about staying motivated as an entrepreneur, what are some, because being an entrepreneur is different from 9 to 5. You got to run a business, may have to manage employees, you got to handle your bookkeeping, you got to handle taxes, and you got to handle all this other kind of stuff on top of handling family, taking care of yourself, and all that kind of stuff. Everybody knows, if you follow me, my spirituality is my balance to everything. I got to meditate, I got to walk, I got to stay in yoga to stay motivated, because there are days when it comes to running my business, from dealing with, and I'm gonna be real, other black businesses, not hating, but it makes you not want to even be in business. Like I can't tell you how many times when I'm like, you know what? It'd just be easier if I just went and got a job at the news station. Like I wouldn't have, it takes away their responsibility. But because I feel that entrepreneurship is really that one path that we do have to creating generational wealth for ourselves, I stick to it. And then too, my entrepreneurship is wrapped into my purpose as well. Like I created my business based upon what I felt that my life's purpose was on this planet. So it's kind of like when I do get down, my passion kind of can push me back into that right direction. So with you guys, what are some of the things that help to keep you motivated when it comes to your business? Because it's not easy. Everything doesn't just come to you. It takes a lot of hard work.
Oh, can I start off as the baby in this process? I think the first thing when you are shifting your mindset and your lifestyle from a 9-to-5 employee to, being independent and being an entrepreneur and having to literally motivate yourself on the days you don't feel like it, because it's not a check or a payoff that is motivating you. You have to do the work, and it may be a while before you actually turn a profit. The first step is your circle and the people you have around you who are pouring into you are not pouring into you. And so if you have these big ideas and these bright ideas, and I watch a lot of TikTok reels, and I should probably be doing other things, but like you're asking friends or family members about big ideas and business ideas, and they're not business owners. They have not, made their first 1,000, 100,000 in revenue. And so they can't see your vision. So you might get a lot of opposition, or, oh girl, you can't do that, or ain't somebody else already doing that, or that's crazy. Why would anyone buy that? Like any of those, negative feedback you get from them, and they might not be doing it to intentionally be downing you or harmful or negative. It's just that they can't perceive it because they haven't done it. So your first thing should be change your circle. Look for those like-minded people. Look for people who are already running successful businesses. People who have already, made the money. People who've applied for loans. People who have other employees working for them, to get your advice from or to tap into. Because if you're not around those types of people, it's very likely that no one will be able to help you or see your vision to get you to that point. And that, for me, has been like my most motivating thing. I think if you know us, Aziza and I are friends. And so having her as, a mom, entrepreneur that's like doing her thing, like that has really been the most motivating to hear her and some of my other friends tell me like, no, like you need to go ahead and start that business. Get your IEN number. Like, why haven't you got your LLC? Like, get these things, because if they're not there, they won't be able to push you to be there.
Definitely.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I would say I'm also a mom. So having a family and a mouth to feed is motivation, to get up every day, because I know I have a little one counting on me and I don't want to let her down. But I would also say just haters, like it's the saying, let your haters be your motivators. I really do take that to heart. Like, especially because I'm so passionate about the work that I do and my business. And like you, Aziza, it goes deeper for me than just designing a website. I recognize the economic development that needs to happen within our community. So it's a passion for me. So when I hear someone tell me no, or, just get that bad vibe, like, oh, whatever it may be, I let it motivate me, and it motivates the heck out of me, because it's like, you think that I can't, but I know that I can. And matter of fact, I will show you that I will. So, that is often a motivator for me. And, as well as just seeing like the disparity within our community. We can't expect anyone else to save us. Like, we have to be the ones to save ourselves. And so the more that we can get other folks on board, be like-minded, not necessarily always looking to inspire other people, but, showing people through our own personal walks as entrepreneurs. I look to other, like Nikita was saying, look into your circles, other entrepreneurs who are successful and who just get up and are committed every day to, hanging in there and doing it. So those are the types of things that motivate me, as well as reading. So finding inspiration in books and just learning new things. Like, I'm committed to being a lifelong learner. So when I learn something new, I always want to not just hold on to the knowledge, but see how I can actively apply the knowledge. And so that motivates me to maybe change some things that, ways of thinking, or change things that I've been doing that just because I've always done it, maybe I need to do it a different way to get a different outcome.
That's awesome. That is, those are some amazing tips. I hope you guys are taking notes. But I'm going to interject right now, because we have, like, on top of just doing this podcast and bringing people on to talk about business, we have some giveaways for you guys. Okay. So let me tell you what these giveaways are. The giveaways are sponsored by Mobile Black Wall Street. Make sure you go check them out. Thank you to Mobile Black Wall Street. But we have some items from Lavish Culture. If you're from Cincinnati, then you know this brand, one of the top brands. And then we also have an item from Lonesome Wear. So in order to enter into the giveaway, and it's super easy, y'all. It's just super easy. I didn't make it hard for you guys. All you have to do is visit www.hustleforchange.com and enter your email. All the emails that are entered during the time of this live will go into a raffle, and we will pick who that winner is. But you make sure you sign up with the email address that you actually use, because we're going to have to contact you via email to get your prize. Okay.
Right.
All right. So I'm going to make sure I come back at the end of this live to remind you guys of our giveaway. But we have two amazing giveaways that we're going to give away tonight. And we got giveaways going on for this entire series. So, make sure you tune in and soak in some of this knowledge that we're talking about tonight. So we've been talking about just the entrepreneur journey. What are some of the things that have been motivating to us? What has inspired us to become an entrepreneur? Let's talk about, and this is like a big thing when it comes to entrepreneurship, and I would say in our community, legitimizing our businesses. Like, I realized that the more legitimized my business is, the easier it is for me to do business, which makes the experience a lot easier versus being harder. And one of the ways that I had to, learn how to legitimize my business, because I didn't have nobody teach me. They don't have entrepreneurship school when you graduate. You don't know. A lot of times you're learning from just other people starting a business. It's more to it. And when I say legitimizing a business, making sure you got your LLCs, make sure you're doing your taxes, making sure that you have like these things in order, having a business banking account, having access to an accounting and bookkeeping. All of these things make running a business run smoother. But a lot of times in our community, a lot of us are afraid to legitimize it because we don't want to pay taxes. We don't want to do this. But at the end of the day, Uncle Sam's going to get his money. As long as you have a business, especially here in America, you can make as much money as you want. It's no limit. Just, is no limit. And if you're really good with taxes and understanding the tax game, it can come out even better. So let's talk about, did you guys ever experience that, start when you started a business? Did you start like, I ain't do an LLC, I'm gonna just jump into the business and then had to navigate? Or was that something that you went into business with, if that makes sense?
Well, I've been in business a long time.
Okay.
And I started my first company. It was in Atlanta in 1989. And the first contract I got, it was a medical tip service, and I used to contract with nursing homes, hospitals, and do the drug testing on the sheriff's department, on the cops themselves. I didn't do a lot of home health at all. And so with that, one of the first contracts I had was with this real upscale nursing home. They signed the contract, everything was done. And because, again, back to Aziz's point, no coaching, nobody, to show me what was going on. I made one of the easiest mistakes that you can make. They accepted the contract, signed off, placed the order for personnel, and then I noticed that I wasn't charging enough to cover the expenses, to cover the staffing and the facilities. And so I actually had to reapproach them and let them know I had to up my rate and correct. I made a mistake. The thing about it, they were so kind. They said, "We understand. Let's make the correction. We'll sign the new contract." So I got lucky there. And but the business grew. Back to some of the points that Nikita was making about uh, people that are negative and whatnot, towards, and maybe not know exactly what they're talking about. I call them the street corner lawyers, and advisors, and because one of the questions I always ask someone when they want to tell you how to do something is that, well, how did that work for you? And that's an easy way to say. That's a nice way to say, well, I didn't. Well, why are you telling me that? And so the thing is that we have to make sure that we're getting away from the optics and having substance, because with the social media world, which you ladies are in this world and the heavy pay as well as your businesses, there's a lot of things out there that people look, and it's filters and all type of programs that make people look and say and do all these. So even sing, I mean, auto tune made lots of stars, and I mean, but that's the culture, not just us, but worldwide. It's accepted because the dollars are pushing it,
Right.
and so but the thing is that we have to make sure that it's real, because my businesses grew very successfully, I would have to say, because of the support of our community. See, it's not all bad. Once they found out that my agency was black owned, people found that out, those nurses was bringing in daughters, moms, aunts,
Mm.
uncles, husbands, wives, grandma, anybody that had a medical license, and we grew to over 760 medical professionals in all classifications. So that allowed us to not just Metro Atlanta. We did a lot of different things. We were able to afford to do that, but that was because of black folks supporting us. And that was each business I had grew like that. And one of them was in the entertainment industry with I had a limo service, a partnership. And the first job we did, the really major job we did, was with BET. They had a pay-per review. They liked us so much they went and told LaFace Records about us. So LaFace's office called us, and so we went and took some vehicles down where they can come and view them and everything at their offices. But what ended up happening, they liked us, told their parent company, which was Arista, and then they were our advocate. They told every black executive in every major entertainment company that was in the area that could pull the trigger in doing business with us. I mean, they just got behind us, and and supported it, and LA Reid allowed me total access to their offices. I didn't need any reason to be in the office and walk around. And the thing that and they taught me a lot. He taught me a lot
Mm.
because he was on that level. And they even had their own travel agency in their offices where they were printing their airline tickets in an office in the office.
Wow.
Okay, that's doing it on a whole nother level.
Mm.
Okay, all right. So the thing is that we are out here getting it, and we think that these people that are already highly successful or whatnot, they're not reachable. That's not true. Most of the time, we don't even try to reach them.
Mm.
Yeah, I
Wow.
found that out in just the work that I do with engagement when we're working with institutions and organizations. A lot of times you feel like people in leadership are them, like
Right.
those people over there. And in reality, they are regular parents and sisters, brothers, people who want to do good and want to help. And if given the opportunity to actually hear from you, they probably will be more helpful than we think oftentimes.
Man, come on, you just spoke the truth. That's the
Mhm.
gospel, because
It is. That's really
yeah,
true.
yeah, you could be at a family cookout or whatever, and you got all type of people in your family doing and friends doing these different things, and when you look at your plate, they have the same stuff on their plate. It's,
Mhm.
it's like
Same for
came from the same background, you know,
yeah. So they
and
say closed
go ahead.
mouth don't get fed. So if you
That's
don't
not.
speak up and speak
Yeah.
out, you never know. The worst they can
Mhm.
say is no.
That's right.
Yeah. And no is okay. No is okay.
Yeah.
So
And I would take any negative comments, I've learned over the years as well, is to take those comments as like a survey.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at what's similar. What are people saying that are similar that I could possibly do better?
right.
And that's and instead of letting it eat at my core, and say, okay, well, wait a minute, why are people saying that? And and then even when it comes to other people that may have rumored you or behind your back you or whatever, right? The thing is that I always take accountability, saying I let that person in my space. They are who they are. They were who
Mm,
they are before you met them. And at some point, people give you indicators and show you who they
Exactly who
are.
they
And
are.
how does Maya Angelou say? Believe them.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. And so we have to look at things, um, like, and one of the things that Jessica, and Nikita, that I thought, and Aziza, I feel honored to be here with such an intelligent and forward thinking woman. I'm like, I feel like, I'm a special dude sitting up here, and so because when you're launching a business, the thing that Jessica was saying that she touched on just a small bit, which is very important, is continuing education.
Mm,
Whether you read or whatnot, you cannot think you know everything. You can't just attend a networking event or a seminar and then that's it. If whoever you meet or see the speakers at those events, walk up to them. Have Aziza's point, having an organized business, be in business, have a business card. Those things still work.
right.
If you don't know how to write a check, have somebody teach you. It's okay. It's okay to need help. It's only when you don't accept it. Because people in business still want checks, because the
Yep.
processing fees on credit cards and debit cards, for depending on the volume, they don't want to acquire those, of those fees. So they want you to give them a check, and all they got to do is deposit. And so, so back to those numbers. What if you had, you know, 5,000 people that were buying your minimum amount product or service, off of a Facebook page because we all promoted it? And then would you want them to do a what? Cash app?
Right.
You
And
Right.
know,
you
how's
got
that going to do for your accounting?
Right. Go to my website and pay from there.
Right. Because we had, like, back to your point, Aziza, there were people doing the PPP
hmm
process. They came to our consulting firm asking for help to apply for those. Now, the ones that were able to apply, we got 100% approvals.
Mm,
But there was more people from our community that was because of those same reasons Aziza talked about. They didn't have their taxes in order, things that they could not apply.
right. And,
Yeah.
and and what we do sometimes, we like to support minority owned businesses when we're either catering or babysitting or whatever it may be that the company I work for may need. And I have friends that's like, oh, I do that, but it's like, do you have an LLC or EIN number? Like, in order for us to be able to pay you, you have to be a legitimate business. And so even in like the work that I'm doing, like when I wanted to have like my first event, I didn't have any of those things. And so luckily I had partnered with, a nonprofit that was able to, leverage their
Sure.
information to support me. But you can't get to that next level without having, an LLC, EIN number. You can't operate. You can't go to a bank and open up an account or ask for a loan. And so we do ourselves a disservice hesitating. And I can say, speaking from experience currently, like we disservice ourselves prolonging that period or being scared. And historically, as Black people, we haven't also always had access to the knowledge, so it's intimidating when we think taxes and accounts and things like that. But it's really not that hard. Like once you get into it, especially with people like Mark, you guys helping people, like
Hmm.
it's just starting. Like you just got to take that first step, and once you do,
Yeah.
you realize it's not as hard.
Come on, you're preaching now, Nikita. Because I'm
That's right.
telling you, because that first step is important. You don't have to go from A to Z day one. You could just get your you can operate lean. there's a lot of software, either free or low cost, that will assist you with your business. There's
Right.
some fabulous black accountants around this city. Fabulous. One of the things I learned, you ever heard that phrase when people say, "Well, black people businesses are too high, or they don't do a good job," and I'm a business owner. What are you talking about? Because and I disagree with that wholeheartedly, regardless of the type of business, right? Because most of the time when people have a bad experience with a so-called black business, they don't have any of those things that you're talking about, Nikita. There's somebody down the street that'll go on your roof and patch your roof instead of the $2,000. They'll do it for 200, and you'll
Right.
pay them and give them your equipment to go up there, and whatever you might end up with is what you end up with. And then you want to say, well, black businesses don't do good business, because people I know that are successful in majority-owned companies and white firms or whatnot, then black people that work there are typically the best that they are, because they can't keep their job if they don't be one of the best that are
Right.
performing there. So if you go on your own and legitimize your own business, there's no way I wouldn't do business with you, because I know I'm getting some of the best of the best.
Mhm.
And it's that part. If you pay for it, what is it? You pay for the quality. You pay for what you get. So if you don't want to spend $2,000 to go with a licensed contractor who has everything in order, who has insurance, and you want to go with your friend down the street that's only gonna do it for 200, but then when something is right, you can't sue them. You can't do anything with insurance because
Well,
you didn't have a
there's no
license.
guarantees on replacing or repairing.
Nope.
And see, and so, but at the end of the day, that's not a business. That's somebody with a hobby or just trying to make some change on the side. And then again, that's a decision you chose to make. And then you want to put us all in one monolithic box and say, I can't do business with black folks. Come on, are you
Right.
serious? That's insulting.
Yeah.
I be saying that a lot. I need to. I'm guilty. I'm one of those people.
You just
Hey.
have to make sure they're legitimate.
Hey, and,
I be trying to help black people get their black business to get it together, and then it's just like, I can't. But it's so important that we work to legitimize our business. It makes the path easier. And then, too, one thing I'm gonna point out is right now in a lot of different states, there is so much money for black businesses.
oh, come on now.
All these grants, all these giveaways, all this money out there for us. You know what the problem? A lot of us aren't getting it. One, we're not legitimate because you need to be signed up with your city, be a vendor, have your stuff in place, have business accounts. But then two, their biggest thing is we can't find the people to give this money to. And I'm not talking about a few $100,000. I'm talking about billions of dollars that are accoladed for black people right now. We are in such a winning season that it take the $99 to get your LLC. EIN numbers are free. You need $100 to open up a bank account. Get registered with your city. Get you a website. Stop operating just off a Facebook page. Get some business cards. Legitimize your business, because the important role, especially for black businesses, is for us to be able to grow and expand, to create more jobs, not just a job for you to have, but where you're managing 90 employees that you're providing jobs for that depend on your business. That's how we get into that Fortune 500 mode. But the only way we're going to get there is if we do those steps.
And when somebody, and when an entrepreneur, when that company makes a mistake, give them a second chance. And the reason I say that, think about it. When you go into a $1 billion company like Kroger, and you buy milk, if you drink milk, whatever it is, and you take that milk home in your groceries, and that milk is bad, what are you going to do? Find your receipt. You're going to get back in your vehicle, go back to the store, wait in the customer service line, and prove to them that milk was bad. Then they're going to say, oh, well, sorry, go back, you can get you another. They won't even go get it. They'll tell you to go get it. And right there, you immediately gave them a second chance. And they make billions of dollars to not let that happen.
And that it was that simple, right? Like we don't think about having that kind of grace when it comes
to us.
ourselves. And it's weird. And a lot of that too is, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you have to have that type of quality of customer service. When
That's
I go into
right.
Kroger's and I got my receipt and I say I didn't get something that's on my receipt, they're not arguing with me. They're not going to Facebook and talking about me and sharing my messages about me asking for my milk back. Like, so we do have to be accountable on our end as business owners to provide that customer service. You need to make it right. And it is okay to make it right. Now, you got things in writing and it was clearly in writing and they could have seen it. And, that's one thing. But I know you see horror stories, especially in these groups where you got people showing messages, and it's crazy. Like, we have to do better. You have to be more professional in that sense.
Well, that's going to happen. I mean, you look at your larger, not just your companies, but celebrities. They get all type of things said about them, and it does. I mean, of course they feel it, you know, but we definitely have to do better as a people. So in other words, what you're saying is that we shouldn't have a hobby, and we should actually be running a business.
Yeah.
Mhm. And,
Yeah.
and that's what we try to do. We fill that gap, that liaison, to help people. We know that if the entrepreneur is not developed and doesn't grow, there's no way the business can grow.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
what you all. That's what you all are talking about. Is what
Mhm.
your knowledge and growth and strength, that things that you're learning, and are that anyone can learn. Any of us, because I learn every day. Because I was born in an era that we didn't have all these computers and software and stuff, right? So I'm like a kid at a candy store when I get shown. So I called Aziza yesterday. How do I do this? And she said, "Oh, just click that." And I said, "Oh, wow, look at that." And I mean, didn't I, Aziza?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's so important, and she's so dead right when it comes to the spend. There's a big movement, actually an organized movement, with Fortune 500s and 1% companies, that they have allocated billions of dollars just for the black spend. And I mean, you got to have a W-9 form. They need to be able to report that they spent money with you. But if you don't know these things, I don't expect you to know these things. That's why we exist. I expect you to give a company like Rise Business Solutions a call.
Yes.
Get
Yeah.
with us. Let us help you. Let us help you with your branding, with a Jessica Renee and Aziza Nubia with Natural Women Magazine. Let Nikita help you get your events and things organized, and of a high class. If you're gonna present your business in some type of way and invite people in, even if it's just to your office space, why would you get some help and have someone get you totally organized so it's just fluent when people come and visit? Even if you're having a workshop or a networking event. That's what they're professionals. Let these professionals help you.
Mhm.
I know we do.
Yeah. One thing you touched on, Aziza, that I think is often overlooked is that second chance piece, but having a process in place so that when things happen or you may make a mistake in your business, one, you learn from it. But one way to legitimize the business is simply doing what you say you're going to do. I think oftentimes we, in our community oversell things and, are so eager to get a sale that we overpromise. We promising you the world and not delivering on that promise.
Mm,
And so that oftentimes
mm.
creates doubt, creates that I'm not going back, this is a scam, whatever the case may be. But it's so important to do what you say you're going to do, and a way that you can do that is by having a process in place, being consistent with the things that you're, with your business processes, how you get the work done. So consistency is huge when it comes to business and running your business, so that you can keep people coming back and they believe you. They trust, that you're going to do what you say you're going to do.
Oh wow, that's nice. I have a question for each of you ladies. I'm gonna
Hmm.
start, and you can start with the answers, Aziza, and we'll just go in the keto around. Do you think that it's important that you leverage your individuality?
In business, no, I don't
Hmm.
think so. I think that's what's gonna make you stand apart from everybody else.
That you don't leverage your
That you
individuality?
don't leverage your in place for your business.
Hmm.
That's what you're saying? Yeah, no, I don't think so.
What do you think, Nikita?
Oh, well, I would say I would definitely leverage my individuality. I've been leveraging my individuality my whole life to get me where I am. And so, it may depend on your business and the service that you're providing as well. But, like with, what I want to do with consulting and everything, being who I am and the individual I am and filling that niche, is completely based on my individuality.
What do you think, Jessica Renee?
Yes, I would definitely say leverage your individuality. I'm a big believer in being authentic and bringing yourself. Having worked in corporate America and having a 9 to 5, I spent a lot of my life not being myself, not being the individual who I am, worried about if my hair looked right, straightening my hair for interviews, making sure I'm presentable to fit another person's mold. And the weight of just thinking about that, constantly worrying about what someone else may think of you rather than just coming into the room feeling confident in myself and not worrying about what someone else likes, but if I like my hair, if I like the outfit that I'm wearing, it just, for me, it presented me with a brand new confidence that I can show up as myself and not really worry too much about what other people are thinking. So I think that is huge in business to definitely be yourself.
All of you are correct. It depends on the model of the business. But the thing is what if I asked you like this? What is your value proposition?
Mhm.
It's the same question. I just used a different set of words.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And so, and that's what what I'm showing you is that your business is your extended family. It's your baby. You have to nourish it for it to grow. You have to feed it the right things. Otherwise you can hurt it. You can harm it quite a bit, if not kill it. You have to, when you bring people into your family, which is your business, you have to make sure that it's a good fit. So vetting people, it's okay to vet people and ask them questions. It's okay to do that. It's okay to do research. When you bring them, no matter what race they are, it's okay for you to do background checks. It's quite all right for you to do that. I know when we get contracts in my field, especially the larger they get, we even got one that we're working on right now where the uh, the vetter, the persons that we are looking to do business with, they want to know what real estate we own to make sure that we don't have liens, that we'll take the contract money and use it for our personal debt that we might be in trouble with.
Mm.
Think
Wow.
about that. Yeah. But that's back to Aziz's point, being opportunity ready. And so you wouldn't know that unless you actually operated on those certain levels, right? But that's okay. It's not just me. I'm not an individual company either. We have access to more than 30 plus consultants that are specialists in their fields of specialty. And so wherever, so I get a lot of help. Um, and financial literacy is so important,
Hmm.
because words and things can be said to you and around you, and a basis point, if you don't know what that is, you could be missing a whole lot of money just because you didn't add that into your contract. And it's okay to get paid, especially as you were saying, Jessica Renee. I'm delivering a high level product. Why not? So I agree with everything that you all are saying. I mean, wow, you guys are on the ball, but hopefully the audience is getting something from this.
Yes, we do have a few comments on a Sabrina Wellness McGill. She said very true. She's loving the conversation. And Brandon Hill chimed in from Facebook. He said entrepreneurship is the only way to truly come up as a people.
Oh
I
wow.
definitely agree with that.
Yes.
So we're coming up on our closing time. Time went by so fast. Like these conversations, we can talk for a minute. But anybody that's just chiming in, this is the Hustle and Motivate podcast series. This podcast series was created to promote the Hustle for Change business seminar happening in Cincinnati, Ohio on October 9th, featuring Wallow and Gilly. This is the premier business seminar to get you ready for the next business season. I know a lot of people are headed into that fourth quarter mode, closing up shop, getting ready for this new year. Let's get your businesses in order. This podcast series will happen every Wednesday at 8 p.m. up until it's time for us to do the event. So we got about two more episodes after this. We'll have different guests on just talking about how we navigate through business, how we learn, how we expand through business, and, just giving these tools and resources that you will get in abundance at the Hustle for Change business seminar. I would like to thank all of my guests for coming on here, sharing about their amazing businesses. And I can tell you, I have worked with each one of these people in their business and what they do. And these are top notch. I can tell you, when I first came to Rise Business Solutions with Mark, I didn't have no bookkeeping. They asked me about my finances. I said I use PayPal. I didn't have nothing in order, but they got me together where I can run my business. I can go to big Fortune 500 corporations and not feel intimidated because I know my business. You feel me? So I stand behind everybody on here 100%. So as we wrap up, let's do last words, and then let's talk about briefly, what are some things that you have coming up, what you would like to promote, and then we'll wrap up.
Ladies first.
We'll start with Jessica.
Yes. So September is actually Self-Improvement Month, and this is for GPD Creative Agency, our second year hosting a 4-part series where we talk about self-improvement strategies for entrepreneurs. The past 2 weeks, we've talked about self-care as well as systems and organizations. And actually coming up tomorrow on live at 7 p.m., we'll have the very own Aziza Nubia with us talking about self-improvement strategies for spirituality. So something that entrepreneurs may not think about when it comes to business, but when your spiritual house is in order, then I'm a firm believer everything else will be in order and flow. So invite you all to join us there. We'll be live on YouTube and Facebook. You can find us at Create with GPD on social media. And we look forward to having you.
Nice.
Awesome sauce.
All right. So tomorrow, I guess this is my next big thing, working with Hustle for Change. But tomorrow, my real job is a job that pays me. Cohere is having our Cincinnati Policy Pitch Night for 2022. And so this is our third one here in the city. And it's an opportunity where regular, everyday people get to submit their ideas about policies and legislation in front of city experts. And so we'll have Councilwomen Mika Owens, as well as Victoria Parks, and the mayor's chief of staff, Kizela Fembro, on our panel. And we have 5 awesome pitches, very important issues that will be competing for the top vote. That top vote will be championed by our city experts and could potentially become a city law ordinance in Cincinnati. And so if you're in Cincinnati and you'd like to tune in, I don't know if like Aziza drop something for me to for you guys to contact me, but you can hit me up for in-person tickets or come check us out on our Facebook event and register on Eventbrite so you can watch online on Zoom and also be able to vote.
Nice.
Awesome.
So that's wonderful. Well, mine, I'm going to keep it short because there's a lot. But one of the things is, of course, I'm one of the speakers on the event with Wallow and Gilly coming up. And then with it, as well as my partner Carlton, you're going to enjoy him when he gets on as well. We also have we have a couple of colleagues that are participating in the Kroger Wellness, addressing urban farming. There's some awesome stuff that we're doing with that. then how they even use lobbyists. We use lobbyists to do business in the state. You know, and then the other part of it is that we have next year, in conjunction with the African American Chamber, we have a huge regional conference that we're going to be hosting here in Cincinnati. So you'd be looking out for that as well. That's already getting momentum from some of the larger companies who want the sponsorship footprint there. But our whole purpose is not just a conference. Everything that we do is all about elevating the entrepreneur, helping them elevate their business, regardless of where they are in business. You can be 2 days old, or two weeks old, 2 years old, 20 years old. And I would just like to say, please visit us at www.risebusinesssolutions.com. There's a lot of good information there. You can also click and set up an appointment, to a free consultation. We'll love to hear from everyone that's on here, and anyone that you may know. That's our purpose, is to help elevate Black people, brown people in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Awesome.
That is super awesome, man. Again, I just thank everybody for being a part of this conversation tonight. Shouts out to my Uncle Charles for chiming in. I think this is his first time chiming into my life. So I got to put him on here. He said having your own and working for yourself is the way to go. I definitely agree with that. So again, thank you guys for tuning into the Hustle and Motivate podcast series, a podcast series presented by the Hustle for Change Business Seminar that will be happening on October 9th. I was about to say my birthday, October 4th. Hint, hint, hint. But on October 9th,
right on.
In Cincinnati, Ohio, at the Idea School from 12 to 5 p.m. We will be featuring keynote speakers, Wallow and Gilly. And this is like, if you're a seasoned entrepreneur, a budding entrepreneur thinking about starting a business, you need to be in the building. Also, if you have any youth entrepreneurs, you have any of your young youth between the ages of 12 to 18 who are interested in business, who have already started a business or looking into entrepreneurship, we are doing a giveaway. Not a giveaway. We are signing up. We're sponsoring 25 youth on the Hustle for Change website to attend this event. All you have to do is fill out the form that's on the website. And all you have to do is go to hustleforchange.com. And then lastly, everyone, we are doing a giveaway before we wrap up. We are giving away some items from some amazing clothing lines here out of Cincinnati, Ohio. All you have to do to enter into the giveaway is simply go to hustleforchange.com. Scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page and enter your name into where it says email. All the emails that will be collected between this live and in the morning, we'll do a raffle. But make sure you sign up with an email address you will check, because we'll be contacting you through your email address. And our giveaway was sponsored by Mobile Black Wall Street. Make sure you support. Thank you guys so much. I really enjoyed this conversation. I think this was a great first day for this thing. This is super awesome. It was a lot of great information. We learned, I just reinforced a lot of the things that I already know and needed to remember, especially being teachable. If y'all can take away anything from tonight's show, is being teachable. Never stop being teachable. That's going to keep your mind strong. They say the number one reason why people have Alzheimer's disease is because they stop learning. They keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Our brain was always created to continue to learn. So always learn, always grow, always expand. Make sure you support each one of these business owners that are here tonight. Make sure you follow their pages. I know if you're watching from Facebook, I share all their stuff on my page, so you'll definitely see their face. Make sure you follow them, check out their businesses and all the amazing things we have going on. Someone said, I hate that I missed this. I hope I can catch you guys next time. Blessings to you all. You definitely will. We'll be back next Wednesday with a whole new lineup of entrepreneurs. But thank you guys for joining us. But until next time, we'll see you guys. Peace.
Thanks for having us.
Peace. Thanks for
Mhm.
having us.
Bye.
Bye-bye.